No, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Long
And
time
all
no
that
see.
jazz.
Long time no see.
Because somebody had more important things to do on day after Christmas.
Yeah, I was hanging out with family. Why don't you go visit your mom for
Ew,
Christmas?
gross.
What? You don't visit your mom for Christmas?
Eh,
You wouldn't visit your in-laws for Christmas?
yeah, we almost did, but and took one look at the all the travel shenanigans and the cost of the flights now. When we were booking, and just said, "Fuck it."
Flights. Why did you just drive?
It would be 14 hours of driving
So?
and in the snow
So?
over a really bad pass.
I did it last year. I went up to a funeral. Went all the way up to fucking North Dakota. Come on now.
Yeah, you could have stopped by Idaho, but did you?
I was
No.
I was I was I was riding with my dad. I wasn't solo. I would have taken more vacation time. I would have hung out with you. But okay. So you chose to fly instead of drive, but you didn't even fly because you'd have to wear a mask and it costs a lot of money. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, well.
Besides, who wants to go to California?
So yeah, you could have went to California, and now that your mom's there doing, you could talk her. Her. You said she's a pretty Trumpian person. You could probably talk her into moving to fucking Iowa or Idaho. Excuse me.
No, she moved to Nevada.
Oh, your woman's family's in California.
In laws are in California.
Mm. Well, then why didn't you go to fucking Nevada?
Because it's
How far?
still
I was the
have to fly and gross,
how
and
far is the drive to Nevada?
it'd have been about the same.
Mm.
Maybe a little bit less, 13 hours.
Well, it sounds like you need to do a better job of convincing them to move to a better state. Well, Nevada's
Uh-huh.
probably not that bad, right?
I'm trying to convince you, and you don't fucking move. So
Oh, you
I was
guys,
going to
you
work on
guys
that.
pay state taxes over there. You guys aren't any better than any other. In fact, Montana's better than you guys because there's no state tax in Montana, and taxation is theft, and you're getting thefted quite a
Taxation is
few
theft.
times. So I don't know, man. Um, yeah, Happy New Year, dude. You got a resolution?
Nah, no resolutions, just intentions. Resolutions can be broken, intentions cannot.
Well, intentions can't be broken. You intend to do something and you don't end up following through with it. Then what did you do?
But it's still in it. You have your intention. My intention this year is to get into a better health, better shape, and hopefully ditch the fucking cane.
So what you should do is you should make a resolution to do exactly the opposite and break that resolution.
I resolved to sit on my ass every fucking day and not do shit. Just eat fucking bonbons and watch TV and
Yes,
yeah.
yes, that's your resolution. Congratulations.
I
You're
already broken it.
you're already a leg up on 98% of the other Americans here. So, um, cool, cool. Does your woman do that shit too? She do
Yeah.
intentions or resolutions?
Hmm, I don't know.
Yeah,
You don't talk about that.
yeah. No, I don't think I didn't really think of one. I pretty much do what I normally do. Try to stay in shape.
I have one for you, but I'm not allowed to say on yeah, public recording.
Well, I will definitely be buying more guns if that's what you're saying.
Nope.
But yeah, um, I really didn't think about it. I, I think when I was younger, a resolution was a thing, whereas also counting down was a thing. But I think once I joined the army, it was just another day off. Like the rest of the holidays, it was just another day off. I don't even know what so I think it was the first New Year that I was with Tiffany, that we were living in the same house. She said something about so we went out and we got the champagne, or was it sparkling grape juice, or I don't remember what it was, and then it was oh yeah, New Year's kiss, and it's what's a New Year's kiss? I feel like an idiot because there's these things that
You've never done New Year's kisses?
no,
Really?
no, I didn't even know it was a thing.
Man,
I didn't even know it was a thing.
somewhere out there, there's a bunch of women that may not remember me, don't know my name,
Mm.
but will always remember me
Maybe they'll remember
because
you for that year, but you don't think they're getting another New Year's kiss the next year?
this was the Millennium Kiss.
How many women
Like
did you kiss for the millennium?
like anyone I saw that did not have somebody to kiss.
That is gross. Okay,
I
so
like I like made the nights of one, two, three, four, five, six, seven women.
exactly how was this kiss? I imagine very sloppy.
No, no, I mean it wasn't. I mean it wasn't like I wasn't like sitting there making out with them, but
Mm.
just a New Year's kiss, and then poof, off into the
Off,
crowd, and I
off to the
went and
next one.
kissed someone else. Yep.
So, but I thought the New Year's kiss was supposed to happen as soon as like the New Year starts. Like, I imagine if you kissed a lot of women, then you
Well,
would
yeah. I mean, it was all within the first 2 minutes of the new millennium, but
Mm-hmm.
just one of those things. So
Okay.
we're at this big giant, millennium party, and I was wasted.
Mm. Of course you
I
were.
was wasted.
Everybody's always wasted.
No, I was like extra wasted because I saw had run into an old friend, and she brought me some like hard alcohol drinks, and we drank those, and then um, I went and gathered up, got enough of the champagne for my whole group, seven of us, and six of us, no seven, I don't know, whatever. I had a whole bunch of them. I remember I had to carry a whole bunch of these little like plastic champagne flutes back to our table, and eight. We had eight at a table, so I had eight glasses, and someone else had already gotten them their drinks. So I was like, oh, well, fuck it. So I slammed seven of them right there before the countdown and had mine. Okay, well, I got mine.
So you're not the kind of guy that would just drink a lot of stuff because you know that like you might do some irresponsible things. However, you want like a pretext, like, well, I was pretty drunk. Not saying that not saying that okay, I think we can agree that like when people are drunk, they're usually telling the truth, right? Like if somebody gets wasted and they're just like, I really fucking hate you, or like people tend to speak their minds when they're drunk. So if you really want to make out with this chick, and maybe you just maybe I have the courage, maybe I don't, and then you just drink seven champagne glasses
Oh no,
of
these were all chicks I didn't even fucking know.
well, okay, maybe
And the thing is, like the girl that I was actually supposed to meet there, um, because she had to work late that night, and uh, so she was gonna get there like probably around 11 o'clock or something,
mm-hmm,
and it was a big fucking party, and this was before everybody had fucking cell phones and shit,
mm-hmm.
and just yeah, it was just so she wasn't there for my New Year's kiss, so I just kissed all these other random women who didn't have partners, and like the ones standing there, kind of like watching the countdown, or you're by themselves, and just you know. So I know there are seven women out there that will always remember this random strange guy who came up and kissed them on New Year's Eve, Millennium New Year's Eve.
Mm. Yeah, no, I don't even know where the tradition of like I knew about the mistletoe thing, right? But I didn't know about a New Year's kiss, so that was news to me. But New
What's
Year's,
the mistletoe thing? Which what did you learn about that?
well, if you're standing under the mistletoe with someone, you're supposed to kiss them, right? That's how the mistletoe works.
Which is why I put mistletoe in my belt buckle.
But wouldn't somebody have to be like a midget in order to be under the mistletoe?
Oh, you got to kiss under the mistletoe.
Which is why I don't go hang out with you for Christmas. Which is why I didn't visit you last year. So, no,
Dude, your ass is mine already. I don't know why you worry about that.
speaking of my ass, it's actually getting a lot better. That was putting on my meds, and I was like, oh, it's getting smaller. It's actually shrinking. My little hemorrhoids, my buddy's disappearing, which is good news. I know you don't care, but I shared anyway. How's your asshole?
It's the asshole itself is fine. I've been bleeding
Mm.
inside, but
And this,
I've been all those supplements and stuff I've been taking. Like seem to have helped a bit.
mm, well, I I will tell you that having the right medication definitely helped me. I mean, not saying, I'm just saying, like, remember my story about the wrong medication with this right
No,
medication?
yeah, no, I understand, and I'm fighting with the insurance company again because my doctor wants me to take something my insurance company won't cover. If I
Mm,
pay cash out of pocket, it's gonna be $400 and that's
400
just
something
hokey
dollars.
bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, shit. Yep. Yep. Did I tell you I actually had a good Twitter interaction? That actually happened. If we would have
There,
had a
there are good Twitter
I
interactions.
did, yes, I know. It was unbelievable. Somebody posted something about the
I thought
governor.
that wasn't allowed.
Well, I thought it was too, but like this is what so basically somebody posted a meme about how the governor of Texas sucks. I don't remember if it was in regards to like the abortion bill or if it was in regards to something else. I think it was the abortion bill. But I said something like, all right, well, if you don't like it, you can move to another state, right? Maybe it was the abortion bill. Well, who knows what it was? And then you're replying to this guy, and then like some other guy that's watching all this dumpster fire replies to me with some shit, and I basically said, "Look, man," I said, "you do realize that there's a bunch of representatives and senators, right? Like it's so easy for you to blame like one guy, and you look at the guy's profile, and mine just is like." Don't mess with Texas. That's mine, right? And his is just like I would suck Biden's dick if it was in my face, and I'm a black guy and I'm married to a white woman. That's basically his Twitter bio. And he was like, "Well, actually, you're right. It is a lot easier. I should." And then he's like, "But do you know that when the power grid went down in Texas?" I was like, "Bro, I live in Texas and my power never went out. Never went out." And then he proceeded to go on with something about how property taxes are very high and I wouldn't understand. And I'm like, I just sold a house. I paid property taxes for about 3 years. So would you like to try again? And then he said something else, and I said, look, I was like, whatever you say, and like, dude, like nobody is stopping you from moving. There's California, there's New York, and there's Illinois. Take your pick, you know. And of course, when you give people that option of would you like to move to any other cesspools, because like that's the thing is like I don't. The more I see the game played, right? The more I see like the game played politics, the more I just realize it's like it is what is that? As depressing as it may seem, it's essentially like now in your case you're saying voting's useless, whatever. What I'm saying is it's like, are you voting for someone who's going to get you to hell faster or slower, and at which rate? And so you have two teams and they both suck, but one is on a collision course going as fast as they can. In fact, there's no brakes on this train, and they are just. And then there's another.
I'd want the one that would fuck up so bad it would collapse the government.
And then you have the other one where it's like incrementalism, right? To some extent, incrementalism in some aspects. Okay, like if you look at some things, it's like I still can't believe that there's people that call themselves conservatives that are running on the Republican Party that are pro-abortion. Now, not getting into that, but that's stupid.
Pro-abortion or pro-choice?
Pro-abortion, pro-choice, pro-abortion. It's the same thing. It's a euphemism.
It's not the same thing.
Right. Another day, another topic. We'll do that 2.0. But do you want the
No,
party?
I just want to be clear because see, there's pro-choice and there's pro-abortion, and then there's me who's pro-postpartum abortion.
Okay, so
I
okay,
believe we
let's.
should be able to abort postpartum. Um, and yeah,
So you basically like so if I were to put a pillow over my kid's face, right, I get charged with murder, right? Because he's postpartum.
hmm
So if I was a woman and I gave birth to the kid, you think I should be able to abort it?
well, you know what I'm saying.
But that's what postpartum is. The baby's already born.
Yes, and
So
you're not
so
catching the joke.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm really not. So
Indiscriminate killing in the streets, sir.
well, it's hard to read you because you don't have a fucking camera and you haven't had a camera for almost a year, over a year actually.
You've had a camera, you couldn't read me. You'd sit there looking at me. I'd say this with a straight fucking face,
I'd be looking at
looking
you
at
like,
you,
why
dead in
haven't
your eyes.
why haven't you shaved when you're why do you look like Santa Claus? At any rate, so let me ask you. So you say the difference in what abortion and pro-choice and pro-abortion are different things.
It's just that pro-choice and pro-abortion are different things. I mean,
What's pro-choice?
they're letting people have a choice whether to abort or not,
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. The pro-abortion people are the ones that are like, I'm going to go out and have abortions. They're the fucking loonies.
So you're
They are
saying
pro-abortion.
so
They're not. They're not fucking pro-choice. They are fucking pro-abortion. We need to. We should all have abortions and let science use the fetuses and blah 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 blah. And
so
that's
these
pro-abortion.
people are intentionally getting pregnant so they can have abortions. Those are pro-abortionists.
Or maybe not intentionally getting pregnant to have an abortion, but taking no responsibility whatsoever and using abortion as birth control.
But aren't people that are pro-choice advocating for people to do the same thing?
No.
So when you have sex,
Like for instance, I'm pro-choice,
okay,
but
why? What do you?
I don't like abortion.
What's
I
pro?
don't. I don't.
What? Here's the thing: is you are pro-choice, which means
We.
you are
But
for. Go ahead. Explain to me what.
I am. I am. I am for bodily autonomy.
Okay.
That's why I'm against vaccine mandates too. Not that I'm anti-vax. I'm anti. You have to put this in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Right.
Period.
Okay.
And
So
that's
so
so.
so
I think,
those.
and I think,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and that's why I believe, up to the point of viability, they should have that choice. Now, once that fetus is viable, now we're dealing with a human that can live outside this womb. Prior to that moment, you've got this entity, perhaps, that is reliant on the other,
Right. Okay.
their body, not just feeding and whatnot. They can't just be handed off to somebody else. So that up to that point is where I personally draw the line. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I think it should be done more, but I am saying that there should be safe access, and it should be someone's right to do so up until that fetus is viable, at which point they need to do everything in their power to like take care of their own body, to give the best care to that fetus and let it be born successfully. Then if they don't want to have it, give it up for adoption, blah 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 blah.
But why not just give it up for adoption?
Because it's not your right to tell someone they have to fucking carry a baby to term.
Slow down. Slow down. We don't need to drop in on f bombs. So, all right. So we talk about vaccine mandates.
We can say fuck here.
Well, yeah, but you're just like it's not your job to tell me how to fucking carry it to term. Like, well, first of all, you're not the one having the baby. I'm not the one having the baby. All right. Second of all, like, just calm the temperature down a bit. So, vaccine mandate, right? Because that's what you said. Bodily autonomy is the term you used. When you're talking about a vaccine mandate, you're talking about a mandatory shot for a disease which I don't think there's anybody out there actively trying to get the disease, right? It's not like a chickenpox party. I mean, if there are people trying to get it, whatever. But I don't think most people in their conscious mind, people are going to work, people are wearing 15 masks, people are already vaccinated, and people are still getting it. Okay, so it's you catching a cold, and you mandating somebody to get a shot to not catch the cold or to not catch the cold more severely. But to compare that between that and what the ultimate purpose of sex is, So we happen to be these highly classified mammals, top of the food chain, the smartest, maybe not the biggest, but the smartest, the most capable. We're over here curing cancer, putting fucking lightning through rocks and shit, driving cars, and we kill our young. And we delude ourselves because we tell ourselves that, well, it's this and it's this. But in a nutshell, you need food and you need water and you need shelter and you need clothes. That's what you need to live. You do not need to fuck another animal. You are not a whale. You are not a dog. You are not a cat. You are the most sophisticated mammal in the animal kingdom. You don't have to have sex. Everybody knows. Everybody knows at this point. If you have sex, you either, nothing will happen, or you'll have a kid, or you'll have a disease. Like, we know what happens. We have science of hundreds of years, thousands of years. We know what sex is for. Is it something recreational? Yes. But what is the purpose of sex? The purpose of sex is to procreate. So when you willingly, both participants, participate in sexual intercourse, you know that nothing could happen. You could incur a disease.
But that's completely irrelevant.
No. It is relevant, because when you talk about being responsible, when you talk about me staying out of your life, and not,
let me ask you this.
Well, hold up. Not
just to use the Texas law. What is it after a heartbeat or whatever?
I'm not going after.
I know. I'm using that as a baseline.
All right.
So, what is it though? 9 heartbeat, 9 weeks or something like that.
I think it was 6, and that's the one that you.
6 weeks. Okay. We'll say 9, just for whatever. So say a girl gets raped, doesn't realize she's pregnant.
But you are talking about less than 1% of abortions. Like,
dude,
when we make laws,
it doesn't fucking matter.
It does matter, because when we make laws for the majority. The majority makes the laws. You want to make laws for the less than one. The
majority makes laws to oppress the others.
No, it does not.
The biggest
you know what?
oppressed
All these
minority is the individual.
No, the LGBT community. You want to talk about? They are making fucking laws for the minority to oppress the majority. And what my point is you cannot sit there and fucking tell me that less than 1% of the fucking population that has rape.
Let me ask you a question. How the fuck does some 14-year-old girl down the street getting an abortion affect you?
You didn't let me finish my original statement. My original statement is, you are all for individuals with their personal responsibility. You are. Whether you believe, whether you want to admit it or not, human life is intrinsic. It has value. You don't go to jail for murdering a dog. You don't go to jail, or they're just not even murder. You don't go to jail for running over a cat. These things don't happen. Apparently, human life is intrinsic, and it has been intrinsic because we believe that humans have consciousness and they have souls, which is a deep moral conundrum because half the country doesn't even believe in religion, but that's another story. So when you realize, like, that you putting your dick into something will either get you a disease, it will get you a child, or nothing will happen, you are making a decision every time you put your dick into something. Which is why, unless you just... Because like I said, you do not need to have sex. No woman needs to have sex. No man needs to have sex. We want to. But why delude yourself with something that you were required to do, like eat or drink?
That doesn't have anything to do with it.
No, it does. It does. Because what you are doing is you are murdering. At the end of the day, we've had this discussion. It is murder. I don't care. I don't care if it's viable. I don't care if it's not viable. That is a human being. That is a soul. It has a conscience. It has everything that you have. When you were in the hospital with a coma, you were exactly the same as a child. You are. So to tell me that, well, you can't kill a kid because reasons, it's like, no. Like, this woman, 99 point whatever % of the time, chose to have sex with a guy just as the guy chose to have sex with a woman. Now, if I want to lose my argument, I could go further and I could say, well, and I think we did agree on this point. It was like, well, so she has a pregnancy and she wants to terminate the pregnancy. She wants to abort the pregnancy. It's all her choice. Well, the dad should have a say. If I wanted to go further and just like lessen the strength of my argument, I could say, Well, why doesn't the dad have a say? You know, the woman has a say, and it usually depends on her economic standing, right? It usually does. It depends on whether or not it's going to affect her career. How much money does she have? How much is the guy that she has the kid with, or what she thinks she, you know, who the father is? Like, is she going to be able to? Which, dude, it's scary. But you know what? We as humans need to make better decisions. I don't need to take your tax money and recklessly spend your tax
So
money. Just like I don't
no,
need to fund.
I do agree that tax money should not go to fund abortions. I do agree with that. But then again, I also
Well, that's not what I was
don't
saying. I'm
believe
just.
tax money should go to fucking anything.
But I don't.
I
I
think we
don't.
should
I
do
don't.
away with taxes and fuck it all.
I don't think it should be. I don't think. I don't think murder should be legalized. The only murder we legalize is abortion. But you know, hey, go us. We're awesome.
Well,
We're
and executions.
yeah. That's a difficult one, but that's totally. The baby did nothing, dude. The baby didn't murder anybody. The baby didn't rape anybody. The baby didn't
The
harm.
baby's not a baby until it's viable.
It has a soul, man. The baby has a
Dude,
soul.
how do you know it has a soul?
You know why? Because you have a soul, and when you're unconscious, you have
How
a
do you
soul.
know I have a soul?
Because you're here. You are here. You have a soul.
What's a soul? Explain to me what's a soul.
I don't know why I'm explaining to this as we know your background, but a soul is it's an entity that lives within your body. It is more than your physical. It is more than your mental. It is a spiritual version of you that exists in the
So
afterlife.
energy,
No, religion.
energy, but the soul is a form of energy.
So tell me that. How do you know that a baby doesn't have a soul? How do you know?
Well, I'm gonna just before going on to that, I'm just gonna say, if souls exist and are composed of and elemental matter of a finer level of energy or finer frequency, finer mesh, energy doesn't just disappear. Taking away the vessel doesn't kill the soul. The energy continues on and continues on. So you're not killing the soul.
So
Um,
why? Okay, then what is the purpose of your existence? If we could just kill you tomorrow and you are a sentient person, you are alive, you're breathing, you're doing everything. Why do we even need you? Why do we need anybody? Why don't we just all kill ourselves and just live as souls? Like,
dude,
is there not a greater, like, do you ever sit there and wonder, like, what are you doing here? What is your wife doing here? What am I doing here? What is
in the
this?
universe,
No, here on Earth. Let's keep it simple. Here on Earth, what are we doing?
we're a plague. We're
Okay,
parasites.
okay. So what are the whales doing?
They're just existing. They're doing their own thing.
So why are
It
the
is just
whales? Why are the
evolution.
whales existing? Why are dogs and cats? Why are lizards? Why are they existing? But we're a plague. Is it because we're something different than them? And what
Because
makes?
we are parasites.
Well, no.
We have
Why?
become parasites.
So we became
We could we
parasites.
could we could just exist in our own little communities and grow our food and take care of ourselves and be left the fuck alone and not destroy the planet, but we choose not to.
But what I'm saying, how would you not be a parasite? How would I not? So we don't have electricity. We don't have hot water. We don't have natural gas. We don't have cars. We live in wigwams. Like, how are you and I not parasites? That's what I'm at.
Dude, the human race is a fucking
So
parasite.
we are
And frankly, if there was some super event that eliminated the entire human race, it would mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things.
well, not on the grand.
Absolutely fucking zero.
Not on.
If every human died tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
would anybody give any fucks
Well,
in 3 days?
well, there's
No,
no.
because everybody dead
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me ask you this.
and no one cares.
Every.
We're a blip on the radar.
Well,
We're a blip in the timeline, dude.
so as far as animals that are extinct and have been extinct, they're a blip on the timeline.
Mhm.
Nobody cares. I mean, every now and then you hear about the dodo or the spotted black titty or whatever. Like that's
Well, see, humans care because they realize, gee, we're fucking. Some humans care because they realize, gee, humanity has turned into a parasitic
so. That's my question.
culture that
Did they are we parasites or did we turn into parasites? What happened? Which one is it?
I believe we are predisposed to be parasitic,
So what you're
and
saying is
and took the path of least
so
resistance.
there's no redemption for us.
Not really.
So what exactly, like, can you give
A
me
giant meteor. That's
can
what we need.
can you give me a specific trait that makes humans parasitic and not dogs? Because think about it. If you take any organism, any animal on the planet, and you supplant them with enough food and the means of reproduction, they will essentially become parasitic. You know, if it rains a lot and there's a lot of grass, the deer are going to eat a lot of grass. And they're going to become parasitic and eat all the grass. And all the other animals that depend on the grass don't have grass to eat. And they die. And deers will keep fucking. So that's my point. So tell me about humans.
That's not parasite. That's natural selection. We humans are bucking natural selection. We're putting warning labels on bottles of bleach. Do not drink. Fucking let the people drink the bleach if they fucking want to,
But
and
that's
die.
give me
Get
the
out of the
give me
goddamn
the
gene
give
pool.
me the general, that is specific humans. Not every human's gonna drink a bottle of bleach. What makes the human race a parasitic? Like, what is the trait? What is the single allele that, like, just kills us and dooms us to the existence?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay. All
The
right.
intelligence
So,
and ability to
but
decide to.
but other mammals have that capability too. Like, you can train your cats and dogs to do shit. What is different about us than fucking whales doing loop de loops at fucking SeaWorld for a goddamn fish? Dolphins fucking fighting and fucking for fun. Like, we know these things. What is different about humans than all these mammals specifically, because mammals tend to have the higher fucking intelligence here.
Because we're top of the food chain
Are we
for
though?
now.
Are we?
For now we are. I'd love it, dude. I think this planet needs a catastrophic event
I think you're
that
getting away
actually
from it. I think
wipes out
I
humanity.
know you do. I mean, I would too, but I have a son, man. I have a baby son. I love seeing him every day, even when he's mad at me.
And you want him to
No, I don't. I don't
see
want.
this world.
I don't want. First of all, I don't. First of all, I don't want to see my son die. I don't like it when he's hurt. Sometimes he gets a boo boo. Sometimes he's just being a baby. But as a dad, and I know you're a dad, and your daughter's a lot older than my son, but you don't want to see her hurt. And if somebody fucking hurt your daughter, I guarantee you fucking roll up to his house with a shotgun, at a minimum. And I would do the same if I. But I'm telling you, what you're getting around, you're beating around is people are different because they have souls. It's not intelligence.
No, they don't have souls. There's it's fucking. There's no that's
So there's
prove me a soul.
no,
Consciousness perhaps, but consciousness does not make a soul. The
really.
ability to think and have rational thought and
I
conversations,
agree with you.
but that's
Consciousness
not
does
fucking
not.
souls.
I don't. I. But you know what? Dogs communicate. Everything you say,
Do they
mammals.
have souls?
I honestly, I think they do, but I don't know. I don't know about
So
Jesus. I don't know
here's the
about
thing,
Jesus coming to save dogs. I don't know about that. Okay. What I do know
dude.
is what.
You're gonna have fucking dog Jesus come down and eliminate all of
Well,
humanity. That's
where's
what we need.
where
We need
is?
dog Jesus. Dog Jesus, come save us.
But there's not an Old and New Testament, not the best-selling book in the world forever, more than the Quran, more than the fucking Torah, the Bible, that is a history. It is a history book of God and Jesus. Like, that's what I know. So the animals have
It is
souls.
a sales pitch for religion.
Well, yes, it is to you. Okay, and here's my
That's
next.
what it is. Constantine fucking. They had the Council of Nicaea get together and chose what to put in the Bible based on using religion to control the ignorant, unwashed masses.
Well, dude, in the Civil War times, the white people also used the slaves to control the masses, and they based it off the Old Testament with Moses, the Jews, and the Egyptians. So yes, people can do bad things with good material. They can do that, and they will do that. They will. But what I'm saying is, even if you don't believe there are souls, even if you believe that it's a consciousness thing or it's a higher intelligence thing as to, you know, why someone should be able to just murder, because that, I mean, if you can call bacteria in an ice cap on fucking Mars
See,
life,
that's the
you
thing.
can
I don't
call.
even call it fucking murder
Well, I know you don't. I know you don't, but I do. But if you can call bacteria a single celled
because
organism,
at that point, that clump of cells may be life, but
mm,
it's not life that can exist
well,
without
here's the
a
funny thing:
host.
is when
At
no,
that
no,
point, it is a
no.
fucking
But you know what
parasite.
happens? You know what happens when you get fucking hit by a car and you're in a fucking hospital on a fucking incubator? You are a fucking parasite on the taxpayer. You are. And if we
Or my
leave,
insurance, or
if
my insurance company.
if we
I'm just a
leave you, if
taxpayer.
we leave you to your natural devices, you may come out of that coma and fucking be a tax-paying citizen on society. Right now, you're not paying shit. You're fucking under the fucking. There's something breathing for you, something cleaning your fucking blood out. Who knows? But everything you apply to why a baby is not a human being and deserves the life of, the life that every other adult and every other child does, you can apply to somebody in a coma. You can apply to somebody in the hospital, period. You could have somebody stage 4 terminal cancer. Why are we treating them? Why even try? It's stage 4. You know why? Because sometimes if you fucking,
Money.
well, because
That is why.
if we treat,
Money.
well, dude, no, like there's no money.
No, no. What do you mean? There's no money?
What,
They're paying. Those fuckers are paying, and if they're not paying, their family's paying.
not
Somebody's fucking paying.
no, not everybody has money to pay for cancer treatment, and not every insurance covers people for cancer treatment. But my
And
point is,
but the hospitals and the insurance companies,
you
they
know,
make so much
but
stinking money
but what I'm saying is,
doing that shit.
everything you can tell me about a fucking zygote, a fetus, whatever you want to call it, whatever the fucking fembots want to call it, it can be applied to a human being. And you want to talk about the death sentence? Okay, tell me where the baby shot somebody. You want to talk about, well, it's not, well, you know what? You're not doing any good either. You're 60 years old. Why do we need to fucking reconstruct your jaw? Like, there's no point as the insurance company. Why should we pay for your mouth when you may live another 10, 15 years? We're not going to get that much money out of you for insurance, but we're going to spend all this money on you so you can live for 10 or 15 more years? Like, no, it's pointless. No health care for you. That's it. Bless you. But that's my point. My point
Hail
is,
Satan.
you're not a Satanist. Don't fucking.
No, but whenever someone says "blessed you" to me, I say "Hail Satan."
But you're not a Satanist. I didn't say God bless you. I said bless you. Bless you just is a general term for I'm wishing good tidings to you. People that say God bless you, you can retort with I just say bless you. But look, anyway, full term, put the fucking kid up for adoption. Like, don't have sex outside of marriage. And if you have sex in marriage, know what your fucking goals are. Okay, I'm not saying that like I'm married and I had sex, but I know that every time I put my shit,
You're living in sin, sir.
I am, and that's between me and God. And there's different degrees of sin, and the difference between me killing a kid and just what is it? What is that sin called when you're fucking out? What is the sin when you're having sex outside of wedlock? Fornication. Thank you. Those are different degrees.
But if I go out and kill somebody
Mm-hmm.
and am repentant for it and go to confession or whatever, or offer my life to Jesus Christ according to the Bible, then I'm forgiven. If you, as a fornicator,
Uh-huh.
don't truly repent, then that murderer goes to heaven and you don't.
Not necessarily. Like, so if you're basing it
All
on,
right, dude, are you gonna make me fucking start pulling out the Bible shit? Because I had this conversations like 35 years ago
with your dad,
in junior, no, with the Christian school I went to.
well,
I went to a Christian school and actually read the fucking Bible and started calling them out in the Bible class on their bullshit.
Well, the problem is you're calling out like the fucking JV, bro, and you're like fucking college level. You're calling out someone that teaches Sunday school class on like some fucking complex shit, okay? So if I'm the fornicator and I don't repent, then like at the end of the day, everything, like if you're out there, if you're a woman and you're fucking and you're, dude, I am telling you what you're doing is wrong. Just like if you being a former Christian.
All right, let me ask you this.
What's up?
What's your take then on the abortion pill?
What, the day after pill?
Day after pill, I think it's actually up to like 3 weeks, 2 weeks after pill.
What?
But what's your take on that? I think is good up to it works up to 2 weeks after
Here's here's
conception or whatever.
here's my take on it. My take is that, and I'm not Catholic, so I understand what the Catholic teachings are. I just, the way I look at it is,
Fuck, if you're Catholic, you ain't supposed to be using a rubber either, man.
I
Every sperm is sacred.
actually, they changed the church changed the take on that. Now I don't know.
Why did they change? Because God's flexible?
Darian,
Did God change his mind?
Darian, you're asking me about some dogma I don't know. I won't go into there. How do I feel about the after night or after weeks pill? Well, why? First of all, my question is, why are you taking my take is the same regardless. Is, why are you taking the pill? Like, if you really did not want to have a kid, you wouldn't be fucking, because what you're doing is, and I say this as a sinner who is still doing it. I had sex maybe
Fornicator.
yes, 5 days ago probably, but my point is, every time you have sex, it doesn't matter if you wear a condom, it doesn't matter if she's on birth control, if there's some male birth control, it doesn't matter. There is a chance that there will be a child. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying,
dude,
if you don't want
not every time.
Well, even with the surgery, bro, there is still a chance. There always is. There always is a chance. It doesn't matter if they tie it. It doesn't matter if they put a cork in that shit. Like,
I could rip out her uterus, or I could,
exactly.
Aside hit the morgue.
Aside from ripping out your testes or ripping out, the ovaries, there's always a chance. So my thing
Don't forget
is,
the morgue.
I don't know what about the morgue? Okay, this is where you tell me some crazy story about you.
Jesus Christ, man! Do you not catch jokes at all? Are you that?
Am I having sex with a corpse? Is that what you're saying? Like,
Yes, it was a necrophilia joke.
Well, how does it? Okay, I get you now. All I'm saying is, every time you have sex, there is always a.
You know what the best form of birth control is?
Abstinence or death.
She swallows.
Oh God. That was the dun. But how do I feel about it? I feel like everybody is an adult, and some more than others. And I think you can say that because you've met some dumb people in your life. Darian, have you met some dumb motherfuckers you were like, dude, I hope you don't vote? Or,
God, I talk to one every fucking week.
Or I hope you don't have kids. I love you too. Bless you, sir. God bless you. But my point is like, it's like you get in a car, right? Okay, you get in a car and you drive a car every day. And when you first start driving a car, when you're like 14, 16, whenever you're scared because there's all these things you don't know. And eventually,
I wasn't scared. I got a ticket my third day of driving.
But the point is like that fear of getting in a wreck, and then maybe you get in a wreck and you realize, like, okay, not all wrecks are bad. And then maybe you drive drunk one time and you make it home. But there's a lot of things like throughout your driving career, you realize, like, driving is probably the most dangerous thing any average American can do compared to even getting COVID. But like sex, for some reason, like, we don't look at like sex the same way we look at any other risks we take in life. Is pregnancy a risk? It is a risk. You know why? Because, like, it is a risk, and I say this as people that are advocating for it is a risk to their lifestyle. Their lifestyle is, or I'm single and I do what I want, or I'm with somebody and we do what we want, we travel, we do this, and I don't have a leech or a parasite depending on me. There's all this stuff that, will change my lifestyle. It will change my income. It will change how I think and how I choose. And it's like, yes, but you do not have to have sex. It is not like you have to have sex to live. You could be abstinent your entire life. People have done it. Is it easy? Probably not after you lose your virginity, but it is possible. Like, you can do it. And the thing is I'm not saying don't have sex, and I'm not saying don't have sex out of wedlock. That's, I'm saying you probably shouldn't. But what I am saying is every time you do something and you know what the consequences are and you continue to do that action, you get in that car, at least when you have sex, 99.x amount of percent of the time you are having sex because you want to have sex. If you get in the car and you get in an accident, It's not always up to you. Sometimes there's other things that happen, but for people to tell me that they're grown ass men, grown ass women, and they're making grown ass men and women decisions, and they're having kids, and then they're deleting the kids because it's an inconvenience, like that's bullshit. Like that is bullshit. I want you to think if your parents thought that way, you wouldn't even be here. And that's easy for people to think of because it's just like, oh yeah, whatever. Let me turn on my phone, let me turn on my computer, and just ignore what I just had to think. Dude, I'm telling you, it is wrong. It is wrong. If sex was necessary to like for you,
You think it's wrong.
no. Well, what I'm saying is because for you, like let's say you, the abstinent Joe, or you, the Joe that's had like all the abortions, whatever. For every one of you, there's probably a Catholic family or a Mormon family having like 8 or 9 kids. So fine, dude, abort all your kids, but just know that it's wrong, and I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm not gonna have to sit there and answer to Peter or Jesus or whoever's at the gate. That's not me. That's you. And if you want to delude yourself, and here's the
No, you're still going to have to answer to St. Peter at the gate because you're a fornicator.
well, I will,
An unrepentant fornicator.
but I will answer for a lesser sin than you will. So maybe I end up in fucking purgatory for 500 years, and you end up in hell for the rest of your life. But that's not a for
Oh,
me.
sweet. I want to chill with my bros.
But
I don't want to hang out with a bunch of fucking nerds in heaven. I want to hang out with my bros in hell.
the only way I could sit there and I could logically wrap my brain around the argument of pro-choice is if every month you had to bust a nut, and every month she had to have sex because that was the only way. Like it was like drinking water and eating food, which is not the case. Like you don't have to do it. And at this point we are so far on the liberal scale as far as our values are, as so far as we look at Christianity, as so far as we look at individual rights, that we look at sex like it is simply waking up in the morning, drinking a beer, and eating an omelet. And it's not. Like the sole purpose of sex is to reproduce. The byproduct is you may have fun in the process. Another byproduct is you may have a kid. You may get a disease. These are things, right? Fucking whales, dolphins, dogs, cats, any other fucking mammal, any other fucking insect, they basically rape each other, okay? They basically do. They, in a nutshell. We don't. We're civilized. Why? What you said, higher level of intelligence or consciousness or whatever it is. But we don't need sex to live our daily lives. We need sex to continue our species, yes. And that should be done by people that are ready to halt their career, or people that are ready to spend their money, frivolous amounts of money, on a parasite, as you put it. And I love my parasite. He is the greatest thing that ever happened to me, besides me being born and having a parasite. That's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. But don't have sex. Like, fucking how hard is that, right? Don't tax me, because I can spend my money better than the fucking government can. Don't fuck. If you don't want to have a kid, don't fuck. Fucking.
But if you get pregnant,
if I got pregnant,
how is it any of your fucking business what that girl down the street does?
It isn't. It is, Darian. It's not. You know what it isn't?
All right.
But here, no. But you know what else? It's not the federal government's business either. Okay?
No, fuck no, it's not.
So guess what? If you don't like the law, move to California, who called themselves an abortion sanctuary like 3 weeks ago. They're an abortion sanctuary. You want abortions? Go move to California. And guess what? You pay your federal tax and you pay your state tax. And you can have all the fucking abortions you want, and you can deal with it when you get to where you go. Because, I can just tell you, just like I would be like, you're a child killer, and you'd be like, well, you're
fornicator.
A fornicator, and I'd be like, okay, because lest he who has no sin can. So, am I trying to say lock up people in jail? No, but if my state passes a law, respect the fact that my state passed a law, and if you don't like that law, then move states. And it's like now, as we've talked about before, it's compromising. Well, do I want to live in a state that lets me abort my kids, or do I want to keep another 30% of my fucking paycheck? That's up to you, bub. Up to you. You can't have it both ways. Anyway.
Yeah, we can. We just collapse the government.
Well,
oh shit! This is the one. This is the episode that's going to get us banned.
But no, so me and him and we actually had like a mutual handshake, and he was like, "You made some good points." I was like, "Thank you." And he said, "I hope you have a happy Christmas and a happy New Year." And I said, "Dude, same to you. The world is a small place. I'm sure I'll see you around somewhere." But it was a great. I've never actually interacted with someone on Twitter where it was like, even though we still disagreed with views, he went his way, I went my way, and there was no name. I didn't call him names. Like, if I could pull it up, I think he called me a name. I was like, well, there's no need for name calling here, buddy. Like, like I'm not here to like ruin your career. Like, even though your Twitter, like the worst thing my Twitter bio says is like it's a comment on pronouns, because I think that's just a fucking joke. I think you'd be like she, shim, zimzer, or whatever fucking pronouns people come up with now. It's a fucking joke. It's like really like destroying language is. I mean, like, what else do we have in common, Darian? Like, what else do we have in common if we all speak English?
We need another Tower of Babel and a great flood. That's what we need.
Okay. So if we were to like separate, right? If we were to have this constitutional abortion, like just like how do you separate? Do you like have like the Midwest and then like East and West, like coast? Is that how you would have like the Great Divorce? You know
I
what I
know.
mean?
How about you like let each fucking state decide what the fuck they want to do themselves? The
Okay.
United States wasn't supposed to be a single entity. It was supposed to be a union of individual states. The federal government has been overstepping its bounds since the 1700s, and in a grab for power. Even George Washington had said we need more than two parties, and that's what it's been. That's what it's been. It's a shell game, dude. It's all bullshit. It's all a joke. They all suck. Democrats suck. Republicans suck. Even fucking libertarians suck. They all fucking suck. The problem with Libertarian Party is the people who run for office are people who want to be in control and want to control people. The people who don't want any control over others are don't campaign and run for positions and shit.
So somebody like you, because that's you, right?
Fuck, I
No,
don't. Yeah, that's the thing. I have zero interest in being in politics.
right.
I
Okay.
want.
So let's
I like I
let's
said,
use you.
if for some reason, because I was approached about running for city council, and well, I don't know what my chances would have been or not. Um, the fact that I'm not a Republican, I probably slim, because the last city council thing, even though it's a nonpartisan election technically, they're like, oh, the Idaho Republicans all support these people, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I digress. The thing is, I said straight up I didn't want to do it, but if there was absolutely positively no one else, you put my name down. But if I happen to, I think we talked about this before. If I got elected, the first thing I was going to do was like bring up motions to disband the city council and abolish all city taxes and abolish the city council and just start deconstructing government.
Dude, slow down, bro. Like, first of all, you didn't even tell me that someone. This is the first I have heard of you getting approached for city council. That is the first thing that I never heard that. Like, that's news to me.
Oh, no, I could have sworn we talked about it. No, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a big thing because
it was your other,
I basically
your other
laughed.
buddy Jacob. It was your other buddy Jacob. That's who it was. I will pretend to not be insulted. That you confused me with somebody else.
I'm pretty sure we actually recorded about it, but I don't know.
So you got approached to run for city council, and you said no.
I said fuck no.
She said fuck no because you're not a
I have
Republican.
zero. I have no.
You have no Republican backing.
No, that was just a musing about the actual chances of me winning if I was actually on that thing, because I'm not a Republican. I wouldn't, do all that Republican bullshit that many had done.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be, on the mailer sent out by the local Republican Party. So,
What is?
But
here's the thing though, right? So interesting that you talk about it that way. Like, so when people call themselves X or Y, right? Like, there's a general, like, you agree, right? There's a general connotation of like what people would expect from you, right? But like at the end of the day, like I made this joke with this guy. We were like, it was at a family party, and I told him, I was like, yeah, when I get out, I'm probably gonna run for office. And he's like, well, there'd be, because he's like, didn't you just say that, like, you did you just, this is what he said. He's like, didn't you just say you were gonna, so Biden like opened up the border, right? And I said, yeah. I said earlier in the day, I was like, me and Tiff were gonna run down to the border and get us like a Mexican woman coming from the border to like, be our maid and teach our son Spanish. And we said it as a joke. Did we do it? No, we didn't do it. Okay. But he said, didn't you say you were going to run down there and do that? I was like, yeah. He's like, and you're going to run as a Republican? Then nobody would vote for you. I was like, no, but if I run as a Democrat, they definitely will, right? So I guess what I'm saying is, and we all had to laugh like, oh. But if you ran as a Republican, but you still ran as a Republican with a certain platform, I don't think it would really matter, right?
But I'm not going to join the Republican Party just to get into politics.
Do you have to join a party though, or do you just have to declare?
I believe you have to join the party to get the party support.
Okay. I don't know. Anyway, so you didn't want to be in the Republican mailer. You didn't want to.
No. Okay, you're running with Republican thing. That has zero to do with this.
No, I'm
picking
where your story left off before I interrupted. I'm sorry. That's all.
Yeah, that little tidbit was only about, like my chances, because I'm not a Republican, would have been slim to none anyway. So really, it was just been a name on the fucking thing. But I wouldn't have campaigned. I wouldn't have, although I don't think there's any real campaigning. But I wouldn't have bothered filling out any of those party platform questionnaire bullshits, and just fuck them all.
Why? Okay, here's a question though. Like, to be honest, if you feel so strongly about certain things, right? I don't think you're a one platform kind of guy, right? Like, if I was running for an office that you actually cared to vote for, right? If I was running on one thing that you did like and one thing you didn't like, right? Like there'd have to be, like, you seem like a pretty intellectual guy. You seem well read, and I'm not saying this to like fluff you up because I want your butt later, but what I'm saying is like, you know what you want. And something I learned the hard way is, if somebody comes up to you and is like, hey man, you got something, you should do it, or you should go for it, or you should, and you don't, and then someone else does it, or they do it, and they do it like half-ass, and they don't do it the way you want, and then they end up being in charge, or they end up fucking the chicken, but you knew that you could have fucked that chicken so much better. My question is like aside from like the amount of like, I don't know how much money it costs to like do whatever but like, why not just fucking do it? And then if you do it and it doesn't,
because I've got zero fucking interest in being in politics.
Why?
I have zero interest in having any sort of authority over others. I have zero fucking interest in becoming a lawmaker or even wasting. It is a waste of my time. It'd be a better use of my time to watch old Knight Rider reruns on fucking Netflix than being in government.
Okay, let me ask you this. So let's just say that you are head of your household. Let's assume that. Head of your household.
Dude, I'm married. Any married man knows they're not the head of the household, it's their wife. But go on.
Sure. Like I said, let's assume you're the head of the household. Are there not like command decisions that you make for the better of your family, where that dollar is spent or where that time is spent? Like, whether it's you or whether it's your wife, you should be doing.
Dude, I don't know why the fuck you're trying to convince me to get into politics. It will never happen. And like I said, if it did happen, the first thing I would do is try to abolish the city council and get rid of the position.
God damn it! Just listen. What I'm saying is like, you're telling me that as a politician, you have no want to control people's lives. You don't. And you know what? I agree with you. I don't want to control people's lives. I want people to wake up in the morning and know what the right thing is to do. You know what that is? It's to get dressed and to go to work and fucking work and make their own goddamn money and pay their own fucking bills. And if there's some kind of tax that has been in, the tax that pays the fucking fireman's bills, or the tax that pays the fucking, whoever, then fucking pay your tax because I pay your tax. Like, is it Is it theft? Yes, absolutely. But okay, this is why we're paying taxes, and this is where the money goes, and it's going there, good reason, right? But my point is, even on a smallest level, you as a dad, with your son or your daughter, like you control their lives. You tell them what to dress. You feed them. Like you do that.
Oh, dude, wait till your kid's a teenager
Well,
and
yes,
see how that works for you.
I understand that, but what I'm telling you is you've been doing it your whole life. You just don't realize it. So
No, I
let's
know I have, and I don't like it. I don't want to. My wife and I have
So
a great relationship, but we don't tell each other what the fuck to do.
Stop. So what you're telling me is, if you had the opportunity and you were the only parent and you had to govern a kid, you would let your kid tell you what they want to do. You would let your
Would
kid.
depend on the circumstances.
Okay, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. You're crazy. Like there is no reason that a fucking 16-year-old kid is gonna tell me what's best for their life, and I'm fucking like 50. It's
Depends on what it is.
Nope. You know what you do?
I don't want to take soccer. I want to take football.
Debatable. Give me another one.
I don't want to play sports ball at all. I want to join the debate team.
Debatable also, but there is no point where a child will tell me what is good.
I am not going to go to baseball practice anymore. I don't like baseball.
Guess what?
I am going to go
That is not
to
that
the drama class.
You signed up for baseball. You will finish the season. You.
Oh, did you sign up for did I sign up for baseball, or did you sign me up for baseball?
No, you had me sign you up for baseball because I had to pay the entrance fee, and I said, "Are you sure you want to play baseball?" See,
and I said, "Fuck no," because baseball sucks. It's not a real sport.
My point is, my kid is not going to tell me what clothes they want to wear. And I'm reasonable. I'm a pretty reasonable guy. I fucking get on here and talk to you most weeks, so I'm pretty fucking reasonable. But for people to sit there and tell me that a 16-year-old knows what's best for them compared to a fucking 40-year-old, you're out of your goddamn mind.
It depends on what it is. Their clothing, fuck yeah, it's fine. Who cares?
Well, yeah, you're talking about like frivolous things that don't matter. When we're talking about, like where they're gonna go, when they're gonna come home, what they think about them. It's like, dude, you know what? I didn't know who I was.
Dad, no, I'm not going to the local college that you want me to go to, your alma mater. I am going to join the Coast Guard.
Cool. You're 18 years old. You do what you want.
17.
Nope. 17 needs my consent. Sell me on why you want to join the Coast Guard, and I'll probably, honestly, the thing is, the child will not tell me. That's the important thing. The child can debate and make good points, and I'm a reasonable dude.
I'm not going to go to the local college or alma mater that you want me to go to. I'm going to go to this one that I got a scholarship for.
Sure.
Or I'm going to go to one across the country, far away from you, because you're a controlling prick.
I'm my controller.
That I got accepted to.
I fucking fed you and clothed you, and I raised you for 18 years, though. Like you don't. That's why.
17.
17. It doesn't matter, Darian. Like that's the point. Is at no point should your child be telling you. It's not like, hey, Dad, I think we could do this better. Hey, Dad, I would like to do this. Hey, Dad, but no, this is what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. That's what you're doing. Okay, we'll see about that. See, that is the difference between, where we are now and where we were in the 80s when I was growing up as a kid. Like, I didn't fucking... And the thing is, my mom, even though I have feelings about the way my mom raised me, there were a lot of good things. And there are a lot of good things that, dude, I pay my taxes. I pay a lot more taxes than a lot of motherfuckers. And I've been employed since I was 16, and I've never been out of a job. And I've always done my shit. And my point is, no, my kid's not going to tell me that. And where I'm saying that is you as the head of household, you will make decisions, and you've been making decisions for whether it's your child, whether it's your fucking dog, your goddamn goldfish, your wife, your husband. And if you can do that for people that live in your household because you know what is better for them based on experience, based on knowledge, based on whatever. And here's the difference between you and the other you.
Dude, I'm not saying I wouldn't be good at politics. I'd be fucking amazing. I just don't want it.
Why don't you want it?
Because that is becoming a part of something, the thing I despise the most. Government. I would want nothing to do with being a part of government.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I see that. Dude, I can relate to that. Do you think I was just like, oh, dude, 5 years ago, I can't wait till I get out of the army and maybe I'll run for office and I'll just fucking, I'll collect this fat check. No, no, that has nothing to do with it. I am just tired. Like, I am to the point where I'm like, I want to go and I want to go fucking die on a 10-acre plot in a cabin surrounded by some woods with some fucking farmland where I pay some boys to come in every summer and cut my grass for hay, or they pay me. That's what I want. That's really, but the more I see people fuck this country up, all sides of the aisle, independents, fucking Democrats, fucking
Let
Republicans,
them do it. Do it faster. Why can't they do it faster and just crumble the government?
the more I
The
see
more
them do it.
the more they overreach,
Okay.
the sooner we'll have the collapse.
The more I see the parallel in like joining the military and serving my country. I served my country for 20 years. They told me to go here, do this, do that. I did it. And you know what I see? When I look around, I see a bunch of lost Americans. Like, they don't understand what they should be doing, because you and I know. You wake up in the morning, what do I need to do? I got a physical therapy appointment. I got this. And so you know that I got to be dressed, or I got to this, and I got a job interview, and I got to do this. And there's things that you know that you have to do because you're responsible. And why are you responsible, Darian? Maybe you had a good parent bring up, or maybe you had a terrible parent bring up to where you know not what to fucking do. But there's a lot of fucking adults and kids in this country that don't know what the fuck to do. And when I see that shit, I'm just like, all right, let's see how this election goes. All right, let's see what's on Twitter. And Twitter's not the real world. I do understand that. But it is mind-boggling. Not only the politicians, you have actors, you have fucking teachers, you have professors, and they are just saying some fucking crazy shit. Like hate America shit. Like I think that I'm a woman, therefore I'm a dude. Like the fucking craziest shit. And there's nothing that like I would just love to go sit on fucking a nice plot of land and spend the next 30 to 40 years of my life dying in oblivion. But you know what I do know? If I do that and I'm not the one to fucking raise my hand and fucking take an oath and serve people, because that's what I did for the last 20 fucking years, someone else is going to do it, and they're going to fuck that chicken. And I'm not going to like the way they're fucking that chicken. At some point, the government's going to fucking enact a fucking wealth tax, and they're going to come after my fucking 10 acres. Because they think it's worth this much money, and I need to pay tax on land I haven't sold that I'm already... Dude, I fucking see this shit happening. And when that shit gets to that point and I'm fucking 60, and I can't run as fast and shoot as good as I could, like, it's too fucking late, dude. It is too fucking late. And what I'm telling you is, when you have an opportunity and someone sees some fucking potential in you and you need to fucking raise your hand and you need to represent people, right? That city council is like 5 to 7 people, dude. You need to get up there and represent 1/7 or 1/5 of the fucking percent of whoever. Even if you don't want to do it because you don't, dude, then don't let yourself be bought out. When it comes time for re-election and people have special interests, fuck them. Then don't get reelected. But for that fucking
Dude, there's no way. If I did run and was elected, there's no way I'd last a full term. The fucking other members of the city council would lead the recall charge, because all I would do is be obstructing business. I'd filibuster every fucking meeting just so nothing could get done.
But you see, now you're doing what you're not. You're supposed to be making people's lives better, like not filibustering and slowing down. Like, how does that make anybody's life better? Like, you're supposed to be there with your libertarian, independent, like real liberal ideas, not fucking neoliberalism, like classical liberalism. Stay the fuck out of our lives. Quit taxing us so goddamn much. Let me go fuck a fucking hole in the tree if I want to, kind of shit. Like, nobody's saying we need you there and you need to be like just slowing down all legislation. Like, goddamn it, like slow it down, but fucking be heard. Like, and you be the one out of fucking 5 people that doesn't that fucking says nay, and you do that. And at some point it gains traction, because when those other 4 start fucking up, they start voting in more of you. And you'd be like Bernie Sanders, but on a fucking small level. Like, how is Bernie Sanders, an open communist, socialist, still in the fucking House of Representatives? Or how is he still a senator for the state of Vermont? Like there is a niche for that, and like what I'm saying is represent your people. Somebody saw you and probably hangs out with a lot of people like you, but you're so fucking brash that they just, they were like, okay, all right, well, he's an asshole. He doesn't want to do it. But they see you because you have a voice and you are very open about how you feel. And I'm just telling you, as someone that's been offered like positions of power, it wasn't like, ooh, I'm in control and I can tell. It was like they saw that I was benevolent and I had good ideas and I was a decent person. And I said, no, I don't want to do it because I'm going to retire. And then I got someone that was fucking that chicken and in charge of me for 3 fucking years, and I was so miserable. And I told myself I'd never, if that opportunity came by again, I would never do it. So I got another opportunity, and they were like, do you want this job? And I was like, hell yeah, I want that job. Am I going to be in charge of people? Hell yeah, I'm going to be in charge of people. Am I going to be a fucking Stalin or some shit? Like, no, I'm not. I'm never that way. But fuck no, dude. You need to fucking, like, you need to run for some kind of office. When that dude comes
Fuck
up,
no.
you do. You do. And if you get your ass whooped, whatever, bro. Nobody cares. You know who cares? You care.
I wouldn't even vote for me.
I'd vote for you.
I'd be running and I wouldn't even go there and waste my time to vote. It's all fucking bullshit.
No, I would vote for you. I would vote for you so you'd be in office, and then all that shit that you said,
Maybe, you know what? Maybe I will accept it next time, just so I can have a candidate statement printed.
Okay.
This is all bullshit. You're wasting your time voting. Taxation is theft.
Then run on that. But like, don't turn the shit down, like, and then just sit there and wait for your country to rot, dude. Like, fucking do something.
Make it rot faster.
That's my problem with fucking libertarians. Is you guys sit on the fence like you're fucking Switzerland and you're more righteous than everybody. And
we don't sit on the fence. We are pretty open and blatant about our beliefs.
You guys, there's 2 sides, right? And you guys want to be the third side, and it's like, great. All right, how many people do you have on your side? It's like 10. And it's like, okay, well, you see these people over here? This is what they want to do to the government. And some of you libertarians are actually like, yeah. Because like I said, there's like 3 of you types of libertarians. There's not one type of libertarian. But the funny part is there's 3 types of you. There's like the true libertarian, where you would be like classical liberal, laissez-faire, right? And then there's like the part of you that has like this radical side, and then there's the part of you that has the anarchist side, which you're borderline anarchist, okay? So there's actually
a little more than borderline, but okay.
But there's 3 types of you, and you guys somehow align yourselves in the same party. Fine.
Are you kidding? Oh my God! No, the libertarians fight with each other more than anybody else. Because, and the thing is, that's the nature of libertarianism. To each their own. Basically, it boils down to, non-aggression and leave me the fuck alone.
It does, but what I'm saying is the way that you say, when I've said this several times, I've said, hey, you need to compromise. You need to either compromise with one side or the other, and you say, I won't. I don't need to.
No.
Gold party all the way. But when I look at the gold party, there's 3 fucking parties in the gold party. And you guys compromise anyway, and you are the gold party. So why stay in the gold party as an anarchist?
Because I'm not going to vote for Trump or any other Republican. I'm not going to vote for Biden or any other Democrat. I mean, I guess I could go for, vote for Ralph Nader or whoever the Green Party's running now, but...
I mean, now you're just not voting for people because of who they are.
Trump's a cocksucking idiot. Biden's a cocksucking idiot. Republicans are all pretty much cocksucking idiots. Mm-hmm. And Democrats are pretty much all cocksucking idiots.
Again, like life, you don't get everything you want. It's not, you don't go to Burger King, you get the burger.
Yeah, and you don't get everything you want either. You're not going to get me to vote for one of your dumbass politicians.
Well, that's not what I said. What I said is when you tell me that...
You're not going to get me to compromise my beliefs to vote for a dumbass politician, whether it be your dumbass or the other party's dumbass.
And that's not what I said either. What I said was, in your goal party, there's like three different parties anyway. So when you tell me that, I just look at you guys and I laugh because there's three parties in one party, and the party will never be anything. And that's why people like you say, "I just can't wait for the country to burn down." And it's like, well, you're not doing anything to help it.
No, that's not what it is. What needs to happen is there needs to be fairness in the debates and stuff like that. Um, I mean, shit. Even in like the Democratic primary, there is blatant favoritism and shenanigans being done.
But
Um,
the only lady, the lady that you put up to run as your representative for the office of president, wanted open borders, and you didn't even like open borders. So
I would be for open borders once we fix the rest of the problem. But yes,
so you compromised because in you know what I mean, like you, I'm sure you didn't vote anyway, but you didn't leave the party because they appointed someone that wanted open borders.
no. Ultimately, I would like open borders too.
Well, you can't have a country with
Do
open
you know?
borders.
Do you know her whole platform about it? It's not just open them up today and let everybody in. It is fix this corrupt bullshit system where we're paying people to come over the border
Hmm.
with tax money.
Hmm.
Um, Fix that. Stop giving people money, and then let people come into work if they want to.
So you have no control over who comes into your country. Period.
Well, I mean, there'd be control in the sense of, you know, checking when people come in.
So checking,
You
like
know,
I just come in if I want to, I leave
yeah,
when I
come
want
in.
to.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Are you collecting benefits from the U.S. government?
no,
No.
I'm just a terrorist that flew in from Tunisia into Mexico City, and I'm coming up to the U.S. No, I'm just a drug dealer that regularly comes across the border with fentanyl. That's these are the people that are coming in. We don't need to worry about them. We don't need to. It's
Oh, but Jake, those are just like, one in thousands.
actually a lot more
You
than
know, like the 14-year-old girl who had the abortion.
it,
Those aren't the norm. Those are anomalies.
they're actually not anomalies, dude. You know how much fentanyl we brought in? What we have confiscated in 2021. 2021. Tell me how this is an anomaly. We confiscated enough fentanyl to kill like 3 billion people. I think it's actually 3.8. Enough
Well, you're
fentanyl.
gonna love the drug policies of the libertarians too.
Mm-hmm. I know what your drug policy, but my point is,
Let people kill themselves on drugs if they want to.
I
I don't
know,
give a fuck.
I know, but again, what I'm saying is, you compromise because you're kind of cool. Like the thing is, like when you tell me you won't compromise, and here's what I'm saying is like I don't like everything Trump says or everything Trump does, but I like more of what he says and what he does than what the other shithead does or the other shithead was going to do. And that's the compromise I make. At least I am man enough. And yes, I challenged your masculinity. I'm man enough to fucking sit there and weigh consequences, at least on face value. And I'm not going to take like the bullshit way out and be like, well, I'm not going to vote because they're both bullshit and blah, 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 blah. And I have this moral high ground over here, but there's this candidate that was in my party who I'm still a part of the party with, but she saw something differently than I did, but I would still vote for her anyway if I did fucking vote. That's that is what's going through my mind when I listen to what you're saying. And the fact that you can't see that, like, okay, dude, is the immigration policy perfect?
I don't
No.
I don't see. Okay, here's the thing, Jake, and this is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna say on the matter.
All right.
I will never. Well, I guess I shouldn't say never, because I did register as a Republican to vote for Ron Paul in the primary. Um,
Isn't he an independent
but
though?
he ran as a Republican the first time in the
Okay.
primary. Um, I will not join one of the behemoth parties that is destroying our country. I will not support either of them. I don't care what this fucking Donald Trump. I will not even say Donald Trump. Somebody who's the least offensive, most palatable Republican.
Mitt Romney? I don't know, dude.
No, Mitt Romney's a fucking dumbass. Uh,
Rand Paul? I don't know, dude.
Rand Paul needed to listen to his dad's lectures more.
I don't know.
Um,
Like, I really like the like you're talking like
I don't.
you're
I
talking.
okay. We'll just say the Republican fucking candidate could promise to abolish the ATF and um, eliminate all taxes and so on and so forth. And I still will not vote for them at this point. Well, I don't know if they have every single thing in line. If it looks like they'd actually do it, or if they're paying lip service, if they're paying, yeah. Even if they came out saying we're going to give every single person, 100 acres of land and whatever, and
And you do with absolute.
abolish the NFA.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but
I still National Firearms Act. That's the whole machine
okay.
gun thing.
Yeah.
Um,
And they could deliver on it. You still wouldn't vote for them.
Likely not, because more likely it's just lip service.
No, I
They're a
mean
bunch of cocksuckers. They're all fucking cocksuckers.
they are and they aren't, dude. Like it's really it's like it's always simpler to blame one dude. It's the president's fault. It's like, yeah, but there were senators and representatives that voted for that shit. Like, yeah,
Yes, and those senators or representatives are part of those two parties.
yeah, no, they are. And um, as much as I've heard libertarians like you and Chris and Sean to some extent and Corey talk about the disrespect. It's like, yeah, but like you guys, like, you got to do something. Like, you guys keep trying to fucking go for the big seat. You need to do like the fucking leftists did, and you need to start getting in the fucking local schools and the school districts and the fucking precincts, and you're fucking going for the jugular when you need to start off. Like, you got to realize this.
Dude, here's the thing. I'm not even going to be a libertarian after the next election cycle. I'm not voting anymore. The whole thing is bullshit and sham.
I get
I'm
that.
dropping all affiliation with all parties. I have said that I would stick with the libertarians through 2022 and possibly 2024. But generally speaking, I want nothing to do with any of it.
Well, when you move to Texas and I'm running for some office, you need to find a way to move to where I live or my district or something and vote for me. That's what you do. Because the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I'm probably just going to run for office. I'll probably win too. I'm a pretty charismatic guy.
And then then on the eve of the what do they call it? The October surprise is going to be they're going to pull recordings from here and
But I haven't
sound bites.
I haven't changed my policy. Like, I'll put it this way, dude. If Trump could have turned down his crassness like 50%, like just turned the gain down 50% on being an asshole, and just, like, you know what I mean? Like, the guy would have won, hands down. He just spent too much fucking time on Twitter, and CNN and MSNBC and some shows on Fox. They just fucking blasted, and people think with their emotions. Like, dude, when you are getting shot at in the battlefield, it takes a lot of training to stop and react how you're supposed to react, what the logical way of returning fire and movement of action. And if you're not there, you're going to react emotionally. And more than likely, that's not going to be in your best interest. And what did people do? And you know what, we can argue Trump's policies, whatever, dude. The point is, what Trump had done versus what is going on the first fucking year of Biden. Like, even your boy Joe Rogan, I say that and I know he's not your boy, but Joe Rogan even knows it. Like Joe's a fucking Bernie bro. And he was pissed when fucking Bernie lost to Biden. And he's even more pissed that Biden's the president. And I'm telling you, like, you cannot tell me unequivocally that Biden was a better president than Trump. And if Trump had shut the fuck up and just less talk, more action, the media wouldn't have fucking been able to villainize this guy, and he would have won. And we'd have low gas prices, we'd have low inflation, we'd have fucking border control, we'd have Middle East policy. Dude, the fucking list goes on. Energy independence. Like, I would be like a Trump, but I would be like, exactly, fucking low taxes, and I would be like, yeah, why not? Let people have machine guns. Well, what are you worried about? Well, okay, all right. Background checks? Sure. Let's do background checks for machine guns. I don't know, dude. Like, shall not be infringed. Where are you? Are you a contextualist? Yes, as it was written. What's the worst that'll happen? I get voted in, and then somebody does a mass school shooting. Well, I mean, we still have the Patriot Act for a reason. and then you do some research and you find people that are responsible.
That's
And
something else that needs to go away, but
yeah, I agree. And then you find out who's responsible and all that, and then you fucking throw them in jail. Why didn't you fucking do your job? FBI, CIA, NSA. No, fuck those guys. Fuck the bureaucracy. Fuck them all, dude. Fuck them all. There's no accountability, none. But I would be a lesser version of, because dude, I've been in the military almost 20 years, and I see shit, and I think that's the biggest problem with my relationships. It's like there's a woman that thinks emotionally, and I think logically. And I can hear that you're suffering at work or your day sucks, and I can listen to that 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, well, what are you gonna do about it? And that's just kind of how I am, and that gets me into trouble a lot. Well, you're in control of your own happiness. Ooh. Not Tiffany. I mean, this is Amanda. This is everybody I've ever dated. And I'm telling you, like, that is the game-winning plan there. You be unapologetically you, but understand that people are fucking emotional snowflakes. You shouldn't have to tell someone to fucking get up and go to work. You shouldn't have to. These are things you know. Do you want to pay your bills? Do you want to keep your house? Do you want to keep your car? You want to keep the nice things you have? Nobody made you get a house. Nobody made you get a car. You did that, and you promised you were going to pay. Shut the fuck up and go to work. This is the flu. If you want to wear a mask, wear one. Don't make me wear one. If you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. Don't make me do it. Right? I think you and I are on the same ground on a lot of things other than abortion. I think you and I see eye to eye. We just, dude, fuck people.
No, you want to be part of government, and I want to abolish all of it.
Well, I want to be part of it because I think it's repairable. I think people are just lost. I think people have shitty parents, or a lack of parents, or they're single parent households. It's like, dude, you are responsible for yourself. When we were made as a country, we were never to be a nanny state. That's not how this works. Like, you are responsible for your actions and whether you succeed or fail. What you are guaranteed is we won't fuck with your rights. That's what you're guaranteed. I won't fuck with them. Civilian me, government me, I won't fuck with them. Like, that's what you're guaranteed. You're not guaranteed a good paying job. You're not guaranteed an education. Not guaranteed. In fact, I would get rid of the education system tomorrow. Like, all right, everybody, educate your own kids or hire private people to do it for you. That's not the government's job. I mean, I would. I'd probably get JFK, bro. I really would. But I would do that knowing that, and dude, you know what? I'm going to DC, right? Basically DC. So, next time you're in the area, hit me up, and I'll be working some secret squirrel shit, and then I'm gonna be getting out, collecting that fat pension. I say that sarcastically, but I've been thinking a lot, dude, and I think I'm gonna start off at the local level, and I'm gonna run for office. I'm gonna see where it goes from there. Because I want to be in charge of people? No, I don't. I don't like being in charge of people. You know why? Because I don't like seeing this great fucking experiment go to shit. I think people need to be reminded that there's poor black and white folk coming up from.
Dude, we need to turn it off and on again. Reboot.
And that's your opinion, and you might be right. Who knows? But I think you got to try. Like I've said before, I keep going and I keep trying because that's what you're supposed to do. But anyway, dude, you got any other topics? There's a pretty good discussion today. I appreciate you waiting on me for a couple weeks. You got anything else you want to touch base on, sir?
Well, we're past our time, but no, not really. I was going to tell you all about the new guitar I got.
No, let's do that in like 5-10 minutes. Go for it.
Well, no, because I'm already 20 minutes past.
Oh.
And my food is sitting out there getting cold. I can smell it.
All right, well, give us the final word then.
Fuck the government. Don't vote. It's a waste of time. And taxation is theft.
Woo! All right, well, hey, thank you, Darian. Thank you for the final word. Everybody, thank you for tuning into the show.
Yeah, we never welcome people. Hey, everyone, welcome to the show. By the way,
Did we? Did we not welcome?
yeah, that's Jake. I'm Drake,
We
and
never. Oh wow.
no,
Holy shit! The first time. All right, my bad. Um, yeah. Welcome to the show and goodbye. Well, with that being said, I'm Jake,
we just did that 2 seconds ago. But I'm Drake.
and this is Jake Drake Show. We'll see you in the future. I don't know about next week. Next week's kind of what is next week? The ninth. Okay, I should be able to in the ninth. I should be, but we'll see. I got a lot of packing and moving to do. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. Everybody know, and we love you all 22 of you.
Delete your social media too.